Post COVID-19, mental health issues have been rapidly increasing, with over 60% of the population on average facing at least mild symptoms of stress, anxiety, or depression. The pandemic has brought upon an additional 130 million mental health cases, which goes on to show how mental disorders are an issue which cannot be ignored. You know what's even more surprising? 92% of adolescents don't receive any treatment for their mental health issues. Addressing this issue is what our team, Minds Over Matter, stands for. Welcome everyone. I'm Bhavik Ahuja, a member of this team consisting of 5 students from the Shriram School Malsari. For the last 2 years, we have been attending online classes with minimal contact to the outside world. Alongside the pressure of pre-boards and boards makes us understand the importance of this relevant issue. Hence, our passion for this topic is what has led us to base our IGCSE Global Perspectives team project on the prevalent issue of mental well-being. Mental health is essentially your general state of well being and state of mind, something that should be looked after. Mental illness is something that disrupts your mental state and interrupts how you feel, think, communicate, and behave. Our aims are to spread awareness about mental health, encourage children and teenagers to express their emotions so that the chances of mental health issues occurring reduce, expanding acceptance towards mental disorders, clarifying doubts about mental well being with the help of professionals, and lastly, suggesting useful coping mechanisms and courses of action to deal with mental health issues. Up next, we'll be delving into the perspectives of our main target audience, the students living in Delhi NCR. We have recorded over 14 testimonials of teenagers ranging from the pathways Salwan, Sanskriti, Modern, and the Shriram School Malsari to help strengthen our views on this concept. Moreover, we'll be delving into the cultural perspectives as well, as they will help us find the most optimum courses of action to address this issue.
What do you think are some tentative coping mechanisms to deal with poor mental health? Keep in touch with a friend or to have someone to talk to every time they need to talk.
By talking to their close ones about what is troubling them, so that nothing stays on their mind for long. They could write a diary expressing their feelings if they're too shy to open up about it. Writing a diary does help a lot, since it did help me.
Some tentative coping mechanisms to deal with poor mental health are journaling, art, and talking to people you can trust also helps.
We can take care of our body and mind. We should connect with others and meditate and give time to us.
So, in my opinion, the best way to deal with mental health, and I know this because I've worked in a mental health organization that offers pro bono services, is to destigmatize it from society so that we can discuss it more openly, more frequently.
So, some mechanisms could be to socialize, talk to your friends, family, or anyone in general. Also, going out regularly and not staying in your house a lot could help.
Having a healthy lifestyle is really important for everyone. Exercising on regular basis can also help increase good mental health, and it's good to exercise every day. That keeps our mind and our body healthy as well. We should take breaks every day.
How do you think someone can improve their mental health?
I think by sleeping enough and overall just living a more healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and even talking to people about your problems can help.
They can improve their mental health by playing sports, cycling, walking, and meditating.
One can improve his or her mental health by holistic growth, not just of the mind or the body, but by having hobbies.
Someone could improve their mental health by talking to people they're close to instead of distancing themselves from them.
And I think someone can also improve their mental health by talking to a professional, just someone who understands what they may be going through.
Indulging in your favorite activities could really help. maybe even doing something that keeps you engaged or makes you feel better.
So there can be various signs of someone's mental health deteriorating. Among them are mood swings, anger issues, sudden change in temperaments, bouts of not talking when someone's extremely social at times, etc., etc.
Diet, they should get enough sleep, they should have a hobby, and they should do things that keep their mind off of stuff that is damaging their mental health.
I think the people can reach out to others, whether it's someone that you trust, like your friends or family, or just a counselor, because I think it does help to get things off your chest.
Communicating with each other communicating with other people, have a good mental strategy and spend time with their families, have good company. Having good company is really important. Have a good environment, think positive and not negative.
So, according to me, people are more susceptible to resort to online mediums such as video games or binging shows to, sort of cope with what's going on around them. But I have figured out from my own experiences that spending time with family and spending time with people who are close to you and have your best interest at heart and actually bring happiness to your life, to a level that video games cannot, is the best way to cope with mental health struggles.
What do you think are signs of someone's mental health depreciating?
Maybe like when they distance themselves and don't seem as interested in whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and they also feel really demotivated in things they enjoy doing.
They suddenly lose interest in things that they usually do or enjoy. They stop talking to people and slowly move away from their friends.
If we can see the signs of aggression, loss of appetite, and no interest in work.
Well, I think firstly, if they are just constantly criticizing themselves and thinking that they aren't good enough, and also if they are just overanalyzing and overthinking a thought.
Could be sudden fits of rage or anger. Also, sometimes could be the person not talking a lot, not engaging in many activities, or in general keeping them in a bubble of thought.
Some ways which I have noticed are that the person starts behaving differently, which shows that they are stressful about something. Another thing is that the person could automatically start crying about something which overwhelmed them a lot.
Signs of one's mental health depreciating are extreme changes in temperament, unusual silence, etc.
I think people would start pulling away and would stop reaching out as much. And I think that's a good indication that they might be going through something in their own lives. And maybe you have to initiate a conversation to just be there for them in general.
Signs of someone's mental health sort of spiraling is when that person socially is not in his best mood, when that person tends to stay alone most of the time to cope with their own problems. I've been through the same myself. So when they sort of detach themselves from those who are close to them and those who are supposed to be around them, that's a sign of mental health depreciating.
Do you have any questions you would ask a professional about?
I think how you can help someone who you know is struggling with mental health problems.
If your own mental health is depreciating, how you could improve it?
So, as we know regarding mental health, social interaction is one of the key factors that help you cope with mental health. But especially with the pandemic and everything going on around us, the interaction is very limited. So, how in this, sort of virtual platform, how do we maintain the same bond and relationship with our friends and those who are close to us to maintain a steady mental health?
Do you think mental health will interfere in your day to day life? Yes, definitely. I do feel like mental health does interfere with a person's day to day life.
I think yes, it makes you feel more demotivated and less productive.
And also because of the stress from school and other personal problems, you just feel really anxious all the time and demotivated to do everything.
Yeah, surely.
Yes, mental health can interfere us in our day-to-day lives. Having stress during work can affect our mental health. Decrease our decrease our good mental health, and we can be annoyed. We can get annoyed, angry.
I think it definitely does, whether it's something just like stress for exams or comparing yourself to others on social media, or just overthinking everything. It definitely does affect my day-to-day life.
Not so much as me because not for me, but I can see how many people are mentally disturbed during the pandemic.
Sometimes mental health does interfere with my day to day life since I often kind of find it hard to focus on things that I should be focusing on.
And you're always just comparing yourself to other people and overanalyzing the thoughts.
Yes, definitely. Mental health can really interfere with our day to day life because, okay, giving an example, if you look at anything with a positive attitude, be the result positive or negative, you will find the answer normal. Like if the result is good, then you'll be ecstatic, or if the result is bad, you'll be fine. But if you look at anything with a negative attitude from the start, if the result is good, you'll be normal and you would have expected the result or not even expected the result, but got it. But if the result is bad, you would be really sad and feel terrible for not getting it. Yeah, so that's why looking at anything with a positive or a negative attitude, because the way you look at the outcome, be it good or bad.
Beginning of this pandemic was surely agitating. But I think as we proceeded and the situation started to seem controlled, we did adapt to living in the new lifestyle. So going back to school and facing boards has obviously been really stressful for me and my friends. But the reduction in syllabus and the shift from purchasing books and sample papers to directly accessing innumerable online resources has really helped us cope with the situation and prepare better.
Poor mental health does lead to stress, depreciation at times, strains to relations. So yes, it could lead to interference in one's day-to-day life. Yeah.
Yes, I feel so, since poor concentration and being overwhelmed with too many things at once does interfere with a person's day to day activities, and they get too many things on their head and become stressful about it. This leads to them being troubled and not being able to complete tasks which they want to throughout the day.
Attitudes towards mental illness vary among different cultures, ethnicities, countries, and religions. Hence, understanding the different sides and perspectives of how mental well being is dealt with in different places and cultures is rather important for this project to be successful. Only through this can we form the best courses of action through which eradicating this prevalent issue is possible. This chart showcases which countries believe that mental health is a big issue and agree or disagree with mental well being. It is clearly shown that the Americas, including Brazil, USA, and Canada, clearly have a lot of resources regarding mental health as they have a majority of their population believing and agreeing with this problem. However, most of Asia, especially Malaysia, South Korea, and Japan, don't have the adequate resources and don't think it is as big of an issue. The cultural perspectives of mental health aren't just limited to the different countries, they also exist in the different classes. In the lower class, mental health is not regarded as big an issue as in the upper and middle classes. This is because, firstly, they don't have the adequate resources to deal with mental health. Moreover, and more importantly, their living conditions harden their mental strength, and thus, these mental issues aren't considered as big as problems they are in the upper and low middle classes. For an insight on the courses of action and doubt clarification on how to deal with mental health, check out this written interview done by us with a mental health professional. It is indeed rather helpful. For a deeper understanding about the cultural perspectives and our aims, you can check out our outcome explanation above. Lastly, don't forget to check out our website www.mindovermatter.com. That's a wrap of our team project. Mental health is our prime concern, for we choose minds over matter.